From the front page of the Yonkers Statesman, September 7, 1916. Headline: Use of serum for infantile paralysis. As a result of a conference of the Committee of Representatives of the local hospitals with Dr. Acox of the State Department of Health and Dr. Coons, Yonkers Health Officer, which was held in the Mayor's Reception Room, City Hall, last night, a further inquiry as to the efficacy of the serum being used in New York City in infantile paralysis cases is to be made. Drs. Getty, Holden, and Warren, as a subcommittee with Dr. Coons, will go to New York City tomorrow to visit the Rockefeller Institute and the Willard Parker Hospital to obtain clinical data as to the results in cases of the disease which have been treated with the serum. Upon the subcommittee's report will depend the use of the serum in Yonkers. The committee meeting was called to order by Dr. Coons, who explained the purpose of the meeting. He said that he desired, in his official capacity, to learn from the physicians of the city, as represented by the committee, their opinion as to the advisability of the use of the serum in infantile paralysis cases. He had personally collected some clinical data, and he was not well convinced of the efficacy of the treatment. The question was so important, however, in relation to the public health, that he wished the opinion of the city physicians as to its use. Dr. Acox gave an exhaustive account of the nature of the serum and the methods to be employed in obtaining it. He pointed out that great care was required in the laboratory and in administering it, as it was very susceptible to bacteria, and the introduction of the serum into the spinal channel might lead to serious results. Headline: Employee strike on Subway and L. 1 million or more residents of New York City left their homes this morning not knowing whether they would ride to work or walk. The first test of the strike declared last night by the union employees of the elevated and subway railroads came with the morning rush hour. If the carmen can carry out their threats to halt surface as well as subway and elevated traffic, New York faces the biggest and most vital strike in its history. When the workers of the city started for their places of employment today, the Amalgamated Association of Street and Elevated Railway Employees, which is conducting the strike, had been unable to tie up the subway and elevated lines, but had succeeded in crippling some of the most important surface lines. With the aid of nearly 3,000 strikebreakers and under police protection, the Interborough Rapid Transit Company was running its trains almost on normal schedule. The strike of the Interborough employees has spread, however, to the carmen of the New York Railways Company, which operates all but 2 of the important surface lines in the boroughs of Manhattan and the Bronx. Approximately 18,000 employees were affected. The union employees of the Interborough Company voted to strike at 0:30 o'clock last night. Little effect from the strike was noticeable during the night. One elevated train was pelted with brickbats. Passengers were taken off and the train sent back empty to the terminal with a few broken windows. 2 or 3 patrolmen were placed on guard at every subway and elevated station, and 2 rode on every train. At noon, the city appeared little affected by the situation. Headline: Ford sues for $500,000. It was announced today that Alfred Lucking, the personal attorney of Henry Ford, is in Chicago to file a suit for $500,000 in Ford's name against the Chicago Tribune. Ford asked personal damages as compensation for an editorial printed in the Tribune, which it is charged called Ford an anarchist. And that's the news from Yonkers 100 years ago today.